I felt like starting fresh. I had a lot of videos on my channel that I had there from the past. All my travels in Australia and Bali and Spain, and it feels weird to look at them. It feels like that's a bad brakes on that car. It feels weird to look at them because it feels like watching someone else speak. It feels like I'm wearing a mask. And thought that I thought that I knew what was going on. I thought that I had answers to things, and I sort of labeled myself as a coach, and that was all a part of the journey. I needed to do that. I needed to be that guy. I needed to be the coach for a long time. It took me places. It took me awesome places. But I felt like it was time for a reset. I felt like removing all of that because, like I said, I can't really stand for that person on those videos anymore. There's nothing wrong with that person. He was a great guy. The only thing is that he played a role. He tried to be something through videos. He tried to become something on YouTube. And it was like a role that I played that I hadn't seen, that I didn't want to see. We all like these roles. So this video is a little bit of a reset. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but this is the first time when I feel ready about doing it, getting back to speaking on camera more again. And yeah, this time it feels more authentic, it feels more true, it feels more like I want to just allow what wants to come through, even if it's music or conversation or just reflection or speaking about awakening, speaking about whatever, stretching or training. I think there will be a lot of that stuff coming, but it's going to come from a place of authenticity. It's not going to come from a place of needing to become something, because there's nothing to become. There's nothing I need to become. There's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I need to achieve anymore. I was blinded by that for a long time, and throughout all the time when I posted on YouTube, I was blinded by arriving somewhere, by going somewhere. I hadn't yet seen myself in that light. I hadn't yet sort of allowed the shadow, or allowed that which wanted to be seen or wanted to become something in the first place to be seen and felt. I hadn't yet cleared that. I hadn't yet seen the underlying drive and underlying sort of striving for more, striving for arriving somewhere. I hadn't yet seen the mechanism of that, and I hadn't yet faced the pain that was the driving force, or the fuel driving that person, driving Kim and driving me to wanting to do that. So this video I'm going to talk about a little bit about what has been seen here, what has happened over the last year or so. And this might be a little bit all over the place, and if you're watching, that's cool. I don't really care if people are watching this, to be honest. I just want to sort of use this as me expressing what wants to come through and what wants to sort of be shared. So if it's all over the place, excuse me, but it's just how this is gonna go, I think. When I was 25 and a half, it was November 2017, I believe. Yeah. I had a pretty massive glimpse into my true nature. I had a pretty massive sort of satori is what they call them, like a glimpse of presence beyond what I had previously thought of myself, beyond my ego mind. Not the voice in the head, but like the first time actually being aware of that voice and realizing that I'm not that. That happened when I was 25 and a half, and I had no idea what that was. I had no idea what happened. It happened in the gym, and I had no previous sort of exposure to religion or spirituality or anything. I would have probably frowned on towards that back then. But I was severely depressed, and I've told this story a thousand times, so I'm not here to sort of share this story more than necessary. But yeah, I hope it'll tie together with what I'm about to say or come to. But I was basically glimpsing what life is outside of what we typically label as self or I. The I in the mind that likes to think that he knows or she knows who they are. And then it would take a couple of years, but I got severely, I'm not sure if that's a word, I got very interested in self-improvement. I wanted to improve the I wanted to improve the self, the struggling self in the mind that I had been identified with for so long. I wanted to improve that idea of myself. So I started this self-improvement journey, started heavily seeking presence, or I guess my own excellence at that point. I didn't even know that it was actually presence that I was seeking, or stillness. That happened much later. And it would take me moving to Australia and living in Australia for over 4 years, seeking in Australia, believing that I had arrived, believing that I had sort of woken up from the dream of separation, from the illusions of the mind, believing that I had seen through thoughts. I hadn't. I thought I had. I was actually so busy walking around thinking that I was awake, that I was oh, it's so funny to look back and see what was actually going on. I was escaping my past. I was escaping my shadow, my pain for a long time, and I had seen some truth. I definitely had. It even feels weird to say I had seen some truth, because the I that thinks that he has seen truth is that which is being seen by truth. So anyway, language is very difficult sometimes. But I had to spend 4 years in Australia and leave Australia only to realize that, oh, I have things here that I haven't been willing to feel in myself, things in my nervous system that I have no idea was there. Lots of trauma, lots of beliefs, lots of attachment to stories, attachment to relationships, and everything. But I still had some pretty significant insights that would point me closer to truth. And over the last sort of year and a half, I've had what you would call a dark night of the soul, what people that are waking up would call a dark night of the soul. So it's basically when you're done running. It's like, okay, I'm done trying to look for happiness in the world. I have exhausted this mechanism in my mind that has been seeking happiness in the world. I've done everything that I wanted to do, and I'm still not yet satisfied with my life. There's still something missing. And so I stopped, and I gave up all my pursuits. I gave up all my goals. I gave up all my all the needs to become a coach, to be seen a certain way. And that was very scary. I had to face myself in ways that I have never done before. All the loneliness, all the worthlessness, all the hopelessness. I'm not going to say all, because obviously there are still things happening for me as well. It's not that I have arrived. There is no arrival. But I have faced a lot of it. A lot of it. And anyone that wakes up, anyone that is going through a dark night of the soul, if you want to label it as such, can testify and say that yes, it can be pretty fucking intense to go through that. It's basically going through everything that we have suppressed. And I had suppressed a lot. It's actually shocking, like actually impressive how much suppression there may have been for a lot of people. Like me, personally, for me, it was so much suppression that I'm like impressed by myself. Like, how in the hell have I been able to keep all of that down? But I was able to do it for a long time until I couldn't. So the sort of hero's journey I went to and lived in Australia for 4 years sort of slowly but gradually pushed me into, okay, Kim, and it's time to look at your shadow here. And so I've spent almost like the last year and a half just sitting with myself, allowing all of this stuff to come up. And what has been seen after the sort of this purification, because what I said before, the self, the I in the mind that we have been identified with, what I was able to sort of detach from in the gym when I had that Satori glimpse, is the thing that is seeking happiness in the future. That I, that identification with the thought processes coming from the past pain in the nervous system, by the way, is the thing that is sort of trying to escape itself. So it's like the mind is creating this separate sort of space almost, where all the fantasy and hopes and desires about happiness in the future sort of rest or lie, I guess. And then we believe that, like, I need to arrive there, I need to achieve all these things so I will feel good about myself on the inside. And this is the trap that I was stuck in for so long. My mind was literally trying to separate itself from the pain in the body, in the nervous system that I hadn't allowed myself to feel, that I had suppressed since childhood. So, of course, that creates suffering, because that is resistance. Like, the mind is trying to pull itself away from the pain in the body, unconsciously. Having no idea that this was going on, I was doing this for a long time and I was seeking heavily, but I had glimpsed presence and I had like moments of peace and I had all of these sort of moments of deep surrender. So I knew that there's something here that I can, that the I in the mind wanted to sort of grasp and hold onto and make its. It wanted to claim it. And I was stuck in that for a long time until I realized that, okay, there's something going on here that I'm not willing to see. I need to sit with my pain. I need to allow everything that I've been suppressing to come up so that I can feel that, so that I can let go of that. So even the I in the mind that needs to heal, that needs to improve, that needs to awaken more, it became another identity as well during the dark night of the soul, that there's still something here I need to see. There's still something here I need to feel. Something is not right yet, but I need to heal more, and then eventually I will arrive somewhere. So I hadn't yet seen the self fully, the separate self, what it was trying to do. But eventually, when I was like able to get into a very surrendered state, I realized that the I that I had been identified with was simply a combination of different things, different sort of phenomena arising here that I had mistaken for being me, myself. Thoughts saying that I need that to be happy, and then a sensation of craving, for example, covering up a sensation of worthlessness or sadness or fear or something. Creating all of these sensations in the body and images in the mind and voices in the head and all of that sort of stuff, convincing me that this is who I am this is the sensation, but I need to escape it, and perhaps I should go and do this and that in the future so I will be happy, so I don't have to feel this way. All of this creates the illusion of the self. And so I hadn't yet seen through that there's actually no one here doing anything. There never was anyone here doing anything. All that had ever happened was just this mind reacting to things in the nervous system, in the body, in sensations that it didn't want to feel, trying to escape itself, creating time. I come from a painful past. All of this pain comes from the past, from that painful memory back there. And I'm going into the future where everything is happy and bright and light and love and all that sort of stuff. Even awakening. I need to awaken. I need to awaken more, says the I in the mind, coming from all of this tension in the nervous system. with identification baked into it. It's such a deeply fascinating occurrence in the human sort of experience that it's so it's so it's so remarkable, and it's so crazy that this is happening. But it is happening. And so it took some time with like sitting with all of this pain in the nervous system from the past to really see that what was happening was that all this time my mind had been trying to resist things and coming up with things that it would make feel good about in the future, that it would make it feel happy. Seeing that that was an escape from the body, and then realizing that there's not two things happening here. There's not a story about the emotion and then the emotion. It's the same thing. It's the feeling in the nervous system of craving, and then the feeling of craving and the fantasy about something are the same thing, but we're actually able to separate them. We can detach from the story, and we can feel the feeling of craving or sadness or worthlessness or hopelessness or whatever. And as we are able to sort of move so closely to the sensation, so that there are no gaps in between, that's when we're able to truly sit in the fire, and that's how we burn ourselves off of all of this, and that's how we sort of kill the ego. That's how the ego dies. The ego, this separate self, this I in the mind that is trying to achieve all this happiness and whatever in the future, dies when we allow ourselves to move so close to sensation and pain in the nervous system that there's no escape, and we stay there. We don't push or pull, we don't do anything with it, we just stay there. And I did that for like a year and a half. I have to mention too that the reason I was able to sort of see that I had been doing this and doing so much resistance to my pain and trying to escape my pain and numb myself through different things and trying to find happiness in the future was because I did a Vipassana retreat in May 2024. So that's almost 2 years now. And then I spent this time since then sitting. I realized how much fear I'd been carrying in myself on that Vipassana retreat. So I've been spending this time, 2 years almost, sitting with that and just purging, allowing the nervous system to just purge itself of fear, of shame, or of sadness, of all of that stuff. And eventually something was seen. Eventually something was seen. And it makes no sense to put words into that, but let's just say that I remember seeing or feeling or being the same thing when I was a very small child, like a toddler. I was sleeping outside, and I could feel like the cold breeze on my face, and I had like sun rays sort of peeking through my eyelashes. And that memory has come back to me very recently, and it's like there's deep peace. And there's no person here, there's nothing here that is doing any of that. It's just what is arising. It's just like sound and sensation everywhere, and hot and cold, and then the sun rays. And that was just the memory of that. But I was able to sort of, I guess, see that sort of, I was able to recognize myself as that again after all of that shadow work, after all of that regulation in the nervous system. And there's just deep, deep peace there. And it's nothing special. It's not like, it's not anything we achieve. It's like just a complete letting be of everything. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is for just a moment. And then if there's anything arising in the mind trying to claim that, we sort of just learn to see clearly what is happening. And then we let go of that, sort of forget. It's like a forgetting. It's almost like forgetting our way there. And so that was seen, and that has been accessible to me more and more. So much so that it's impossible to deny that there's a person here. I mean, it's speech happening here, right? It's something coming through, right? But this is what people in the non-dual community and whatever would call no self. Like recognizing no self, that there is no self, that the self was a combination of sensation and thoughts and things that had been identified with for so long in the nervous system. And then seeing through that is just like true liberation. Like able to hear. Sound is everywhere and everything. And there's no one here doing or upholding sound. There's no one here that needs to hear, because it's already happening on its own. Or there's no one here that needs to see, because it's seeing is always. It's not like I can switch it off, right? We don't need to maintain any of this that is happening here. I don't need to maintain my body, if you understand what I'm saying there. I don't need to maintain my senses at all. They are here all the time without anyone needing to be the feeler or the seer or the hearer or the thinker of thoughts. It's just thoughts coming and going, a stream of thinking happening. And feeling, there's no feeler here. It's just sensation coming through, or feelings that I had believed myself to be. Like I had believed myself to be like this combination of a self inside experience here somewhere, that there's an outer experience here somewhere, that I am stuck. It's like I'm stuck inside the experience here, and I need to protect myself from everything that is evil and dark in the experience. And so seeing through that is just very, very, very peaceful. And it feels like coming home. It feels like just sort of evaporating into everythingness. Very, very pleasant feeling. Lots of love coming through as well. Realizing that everything that happens on its own. It's like there's this intelligence driving everything. Like I'm not the one placing thoughts in my mind. I'm not even the one making decisions. I'm not even, like, if I make a decision, I didn't choose to make that decision. I didn't choose to plant that decision or for that decision to feel right in my body. It just felt right. Oh, that feels good. I'm going to do that, right? I didn't make that happen. All of this just drives itself. And recognizing that is extremely peaceful, because all of a sudden it's like I can allow whatever this is to sort of take the steering wheel. And surrender just becomes so much more accessible there. And so that's what's happened. It's not that anything has happened, it's just that I have sort of let go of the need for things to happen in life. And that has been the best thing that I have ever done. It's not that I have done anything. It's so weird. It's so paradoxical. It's annoying almost. But that's the journey up till now, and I will probably talk about, all of what has happened, sitting with everything. If anyone have any questions or anything about anything, I will gladly answer. And so there will be, I don't know, I will do some vlogs on the channel. I will travel to Spain in a while, and I'm gonna make some videos over there, and I will talk more about this stuff, and I'll share music as well. I make music. If you're interested, go search for Kim on Spotify. Find my profile. You can find it on my channel as well here on YouTube. If you're interested in hearing the music that I'm doing, it's sort of chill out ambient. So it's gonna be that, and I have a lot of I just want to have fun with this. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just doing this. Like I'm allowing what wants to come through to come through. And that feels good. It feels good to Be that. If you made it to the end, that's awesome. That's cool. Because I think that we need to do more longer format content. We need to learn to listen to people again, speaking just like this, authentically from the heart. Instead of doing this fucking social media, it's if that keeps going, I think yeah. So if you if you watch to the end, thank you so much. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.